Let me just say, I have some questions about the F-35. When I brought this up to the governor in the last debate, he told me I couldn't ask questions. But I have some serious questions. I would never question our congressional delegation. I'm sure they made good decisions. But I'm concerned about the significant noise levels. I'm concerned about the limited hours of testing those have gone through. And I'm concerned about using a mixed military base and civilian base for that. I have some simple questions. I think as a governor, you should allow all of your residents to ask questions. We deserve transparency. We deserve answers. As a governor, you should know that as a leader, I will get those questions answered. In the debate where we discussed this with Phil Scott, he told me if you ask questions, it's not come here. That's not the way to lead.
That's just not the case.
Mr. Scott, is your support for these planes as governor unwavering in all cases?
Absolutely unwavering. In fact, I took a trip down to Washington to meet with the Secretary of the Air Force, who requested that I come down and talk about Vermont, because we've been debating this issue since I was first lieutenant governor. The congressional delegation for the last 7 years has come and supported this. We've had the debate throughout, and we've come to the conclusion that it's great for Vermont and we should be welcoming the F-35. So I'm not sure what other questions you need to have answered. But when I went to Washington to meet with the Secretary of the Air Force, her one question to me was, when she took me aside, do you want the F-35 or not? Because I have 6 other states that want the F-35. So let me know today whether you want it. And that was my answer. I said, we want it. The vast majority of Vermonters want it. And we're looking forward to it landing for the first time next year.
Next question here. Last weekend we saw another senseless act of violence take place. This time it was in a synagogue in Pittsburgh. It's one of more than 50 active shooter incidents in the United States since the last election. As governor, can you protect the state from this kind of attack? What are your strategies? Mr. Scott, first to you.
Well, again, what we're seeing across the country with the polarization that's existed and is growing, the lack of civility, lack of respect is something that we should all, regardless of party, should reject. And we'll do everything we can to keep Vermont safe. We had a case here in Vermont where I thought I had needed to act. Public safety was in question. I think it's the highest priority of any government, and certainly as governor, it falls right on your shoulders. And this was the gun debate that we had, and I thought we were insulated in some way from this type of violence here in this state. But I was wrong, and I admitted that, and I took action and leadership to do that, along with the legislature. So we'll do everything we can. But we need to change the way we address things. We need to have debates with respect and civility, and we need to bring people together because it's too important.
Ms. Hallquist?
Yeah, I would say that when it comes to the incident in Fairhaven, I think teachers and parents knew this problem existed a long time before. I'm sorry it took so long for you to recognize that we do have an issue. That said, I think one of the most important things we can be doing now is building emotional safety in schools in our communities. When I talk about schools, I think it's really important that we make sure that schools that we teach students the value of inclusion, work towards eliminating bullying. If you look at the Fairhaven incident, the reason that was prevented is because some students spoke up. So one of the things we need to do is start working at an early age with our children and work with our adults, to start making inclusive and welcoming communities. And in addition to that, to provide mental health first aid training. That's a model that I would like to see recreated throughout the state. We focus heavily on physical first aid, but let's focus on mental first aid, because we do have a lot of issues that we're facing in our state, including substance use disorders.